जय श्री श्री राधा गिरिधारी की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. Very happy to be here at Houston, and especially my special obeisances to Radheshyam Prabhu and Saranga Thakur Prabhu and all the other senior devotees here. This is a very important chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam which is going on here. The first canto, 13th chapter, Dhritarashtra quits home. You can see the shloka there? Yeah. You can. 1, 13, 23? Yeah. Aho mahiyasi jantor जीविताशा यथा भवान् भीमापवर्जितं पिण्डम् आदत्ते गृहपालव। अहो महीयसी जन्तो जीविताशा यथा भवान् भीमापवर्जितं पिण्डम् आदत्ते गृहपालव। अहो महीयसी जन्तो जीविताशा यथा भवान् भीमापवर्जितं पिण्डम् आदत्ते गृहपालव। अहो महीयसी जन्तु जीविताशा यथा भवान् Bhemapavarditam pindam Adatte grihapalava Aho mahiyasi jantor Jivitasayata bhavan Bhemapavarditam pindam Adatte grihapalava Bhemapavarditam pindam Adatte grihapalava. Mataji? Aho mahiyasi jantor Jivitasayata bhavan Bhemapavarditam pindam Adatte grihapalava. Aho, alas, mahiyasi, powerful, janto of the living beings, jivita asha, hope for life, yatha, as much as, bhavan, you are, bhima, of Bhimasena, your brother of Yudhishthira, apavarjitam, remnants, pindam, foodstuff, adatte, eaten by grihapalavad, like a household dog. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Alas, how powerful are the hopes of a living being to continue his life. Verily, you are living just like a household dog and are eating remnants of food given by Bhima. Like that Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra. Purport. A sadhu should never flatter kings or rich men to live comfortably at their cost. A sadhu is to speak to the householders about the naked truth of life, so that they may come to their senses about the precarious life in material existence. Dhritarashtra is a typical example of an attached old man in household life. He had become a pauper in the true sense, yet he wanted to live comfortably in the house of Pandavas, of whom Bhima especially is mentioned because personally he killed the two prominent sons of Dhritarashtra, namely Duryodhana and Dushasana. These two sons were very much dear to him for their notorious and nefarious activities. And Bhima is particularly pointed out because he killed his two pet sons. Why was Dhritarashtra living there at the house of the Pandavas? Because he wanted to continue his life comfortably, even at the risk of all humiliation. Vidura, therefore, was astonished. How powerful is the urge to continue life? This sense of continuing one's life indicates that a living being is eternally a living entity and does not want to change his bodily habitation. The foolish man does not know that a particular term of bodily existence is awarded to him to undergo a term of imprisonment. And the human body is awarded after many, many births and deaths as a chance for self-realization to go back home, back to Godhead. But persons like Dhritarashtra try to make plans to live there in a comfortable position with profit and interest, for they do not see things as they are. Dhritarashtra is blind and continues to hope to live comfortably in the midst of all kinds of reverses of life. A sadhu like Vidura is meant to awaken such blind persons and thus help them go back to Godhead. where life is eternal. Once going there, no one wants to come back to this material world of miseries. We can just imagine how responsible a task is entrusted to a sadhu like Mahatma Vidura. So here we have three characters. First we have the saintly Vidura, who is always walking the path of dharma, who has clarity and pure vision of the meaning of life, purpose of life, goal of life, who is a pure devotee. And he always lived in the palace in a renounced temperament. How do you know that? Once upon a time when Duryodhana sharply insulted him, saying that, throw this man out of the palace. He is eating from our hands, but he is always favoring our enemies, the Pandavas. Like that, Duryodhana publicly, terribly insulted him. And Vidura was shocked for a moment. He was thinking that my brother Dhritarashtra is the king and he is not taking any action on his son. And I am uncle of Duryodhana. How does he speak to a dignified member of the family, that too in a public place where there are many servants and courtmen, everybody else. So for a moment he was attacked by the Karna Banair, it is said, like an arrow piercing our chest. Like that he felt a prick. But being a pure devotee, he quickly converted the misfortune into good fortune. In a split second, he made a decision that this place is no good place for a gentleman. I should leave this place where I am not wanted. Rather, I will go to meet Lord Krishna, but not now directly. Having lived in this Asat Sabha, or a vicious court, I have become putrefied by the bad association here. So I will go to holy places in pilgrimage, and I will associate with saintly persons, then purify myself and make myself eligible to meet Lord Krishna. With this pure intent, he left the palace, and there Srila Prabhupada writes, for persons like Vidura who are pure devotees, they live like a lotus in the muddy pool of water. The lotus is always untouched by the muddy pool of water all around. Although Vidura was living like living in the midst of the palace with dushtas, dushta chatushtayam it is said. Four dushtas, Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni and Karna. In the midst of them he was living. But he was not attached to the palace, nor was he attached to the comforts, nor was he attached to the prestige and the respect that people may give him as a counselor of king, as a minister of the king. He was unattached to all these things. He was completely aloof. His heart was sold out to Krishna. That is the meaning of renounced temperament. Every one of us in our own family situations, we can live within the family, but we should always live an unattached mood. Unattached means we are aware that this material world is a temporary place. It's like traveling in a train journey. Once we were traveling in a new train. Seats were so nice. Some of the seats had plastic covers also. They had just, we had to tear open the plastic covers. Train was so nice. Spick and span. Devotees went and saw the bathroom. It was so clean. It is so clean you can sit there and eat prasad also. It's like that. So clean it was. Absolutely no dirt. So one devotee said, "Oh, the train is so nice, I wish I can stay here only." Is it possible? No. No matter how comfortable a train is, the train is meant to travel to another place and quit after that. Similarly, say in this life you got a handsome body, or you got a high-paying job with perks and everything, or you got a highly respectable position in the world, or you have a big popularity of 10 million followers in the social media, or you are a father of a loving children and a chaste and faithful wife. With all these facilities and amenities, even though one may like one situation and may not want to leave it, the material world is designed in such a way that suddenly some disease will be introduced into our body when one becomes old, 60, 70, 80. And that is meant to knock down the body. It is the power of time. As the time turns everything soft, very slowly but surely, time devours everyone like a snake which chases after the living entities and swallows them. Our Gajendra says that. Yakkash janesho balinonthako ragat prachanda vegat avidavato vrisham bhitam prapannam paripati yad bhayat mritya pradhavat taranam tamimahi. Mrityu pradhavat taranam tamimahi. He is saying, Mrityu pradhavati. The death chases after the living entities. Aranam tamimahi. So, in this verse he says, Yakkash janesho balino anthakoragat. In this world, most people are not aware that they are moving here and there under the eyes of the Lord or under the nose of the Lord. We all are moving here and there in our own way, doing different things, sometimes doing sense gratification, sometimes doing Krishna consciousness. All living in it, but they are being watched by eyes of the Lord. Yakashtaneshu balinontu koragat prachanda vegat. And the Lord uses his energy, which is time, which is like a kala uraga, means like a serpent. And the serpent is swallowing all living beings. If I am 25 years old, then it has swallowed me up to the knee. 50 years, up to half body. 75, only neck is outside. And 100, that also is finished. Isn't it? In this way, the time factor is swallowing everybody. And suddenly, if one wakes up to this reality that I am being devoured, some diseases come and body is falling apart, I am not able to protect my body, and even though I go to all types of doctor, I go for homeopathy, naturopathy, allopathy, except Lakshmipathy. Isn't it? You got all pathis. Isn't it? At last one has to come to Lakshmipathy, the Supreme Lord. Isn't it? So, the whole idea of making our body get defeated by time, His Grace Ravindra Swarup Prabhu wrote in one article, he said, the old age is a gift of God, he wrote. People ask, what do you say? It's a gift. It's a curse. It's a punishment. Because look at a young boy or a young girl, how their body is. How they can run here, that, they can eat nice food, they can be so dynamic. If I am an old man, how do you call it a gift? He said, why it is a gift? Because it gives you the true situation of the living entity, which is dependence on the Lord. In old age, we realize that things don't work the way it used to work before for you. Like in Pune temple, one gentleman gave us a gift of a sumo. Sumo is a very nice vehicle. When the new vehicle came, it was such a high torque vehicle. When you sit in that, it goes to go very powerfully. New vehicle, we used to put the books behind and go for distribution. So, very smooth on the road. But 8 years later, this vehicle became like a bullock cart, like this. It would move both sides. We were wondering, are we in a sumo or a bullock cart? It was like that. Why? Because it became old vehicle. So our body also becomes like that. It will not work the way it was working before. So, Vidura was living always in a renounced temperament. He knew very well, this body is temporary, it is perishable. I am not the body, I am seated in this bodily machine. And this bodily machine will be taken away. And I have two choices, either to get one more bodily machine which will be provided to me for fulfilling my material desires, or nullify my material desires in my mind and transform them into spiritual desires, so that I go back home, back to Godhead, and never have to take one more body again. Every living being has these two choices. So as long as our material mind is clouded with material desires, we need to be provided different material bodies. Every body in the 8.4 million species of life, it represents at least one desire. If somebody has a they say to eat flesh and drink blood, one needs a tiger's body. If one wants to play with water, one needs a dolphin's body. If one is envious, then one gets a snake's body. In this way, every body has some desires prominently. And that is why the body is awarded for one to fulfill that particular desire. So, Vidura was fully aware of these truths. So, he was not attached to anything in the palace. You see, if one of your friend gives you a stereo, tells you that I am going for vacation for 3-4 months, instead of idling in my room, I thought I can give it to you. You can use it if you wish. When I come back, I'll take it. Now, every day you put on the stereo, it's very fine stereo, a high costly stereo, device, and you're enjoying the music. 4 months later, when that friend comes back and says, now I am back now, can I take it? If you say, oh, I have been using it for 4 months, I have fallen in love with it. Is it alright if I keep it with myself? That means it is attachment. It was given to you, you are not the owner, you are only a custodian of that. And after the owner returns back, you are supposed to give it back. If you are attached to it and not ready to give it, that is not a proper behavior. Correct, no? At the same time, imagine in those 4 months, you didn't care about this device. And that fellow comes after 4 months, is asking, where is my stereo? You may say, oh, my little kid was opening from behind and playing with it, taking out everything from inside, outside. I think he's going to be electronics engineer in future. I saw him playing, it was lying in the terrace. Please go and see. That means one is irresponsible. So don't be irresponsible with the commodity given to you. Don't become attached to it. Both are condemned. Use the commodity properly and then give it back on time. Similarly, Krishna has given me a body. What do I do with the body? I don't fiddle with this body, meddle with this body in doing sense gratification. If I do that, I am going to become attached. Because human body is for self-realization. Animal body is for sense gratification. Now I have a human body. I should use it for self-realization. Then the purpose of the human body is served. Otherwise the purpose is defeated. Vidura knew all this. He was always using his body, mind, words in Krishna's service. So he could clearly live in a mood of renounced temperament. This body doesn't belong to me. Body is given to me by Krishna. I should use it in his service. I should hand over the body to him back when I am leaving this world. So he was fully aware of that. And that's the right type of consciousness every human being should cultivate. Especially in the human form of life, it's possible to cultivate that type of consciousness. So that's why he says, Prachanda vegad abhidavato brisham bhitam prapannam paripati yad bhayat. Prapanna means to surrender to the Supreme Lord. Out of great fear that the Kala is devouring me, if somebody rushes to Krishna's lotus feet, that is his greatest advantage. Then one takes shelter of the Lord. Then one is not only protected by the Lord, you become free from the fear of death. You become free from fear of disease, fear of death. There was one Mataji, Barsana Rani Mataji in Hyderabad. She and her husband, they both are initiated devotees. And they may be probably 50 to 60 years of age. And both are doctors, big doctors in a very big hospital. So very reputed family, very respected family in our Hyderabad community. One day she felt some pain in the body. So husband and wife went for diagnosis. And suddenly the doctors said, I am very, uneasy to say the truth. But he told, the cancer is ravaging your body and you will live only for a week. At the most 10 days. Like that he told her. The moment she heard that, immediately her eyes became dilated and she became thrilled. There was a big smile on her face. She said, that's all. 1 week, 10 days. So in 10 days I am going to go from Bhuloka to Goloka. There I will see Krishna going with cows and calves for herding them in the forest with his friends. Then I am going to meet Srimati Radharani and all the gopis. I will get to see Nanda Yashoda. and I will see all the pastimes of Krishna very soon. I've been reading in Krishna book and relishing so much. Now it's just 10 more days. I was waiting for this time, she said. And while everybody else is morose and she is smiling very happily. Generally in this world, the opposite happens, correct, no? The person hears, I have to leave the body in 1 week and 10 days. A person may run from pillar to post to find out how I can hold on to my body. Isn't it? She was like that, and 200, 300 devotees, they were doing kirtans. So that was the time I had to come to America on 1st January. So I called the couple and told them, I'm sorry, I'm not able to be here, I have to leave for America. And then she said, no, Prabhu, you are a preacher, you are a worldwide traveling preacher. Go and do it wonderfully. What difference it makes? You have already sent 200 devotees around me, they are doing kirtan, I am very ecstatically situated. The best wishes for your preaching. And she was encouraging me. And the husband was really surprised. Of course, she lived almost 25 days or so. 4 weeks she lived, and by the time her son in America also returned back to Hyderabad to be with the mother. And she left the body surrounded by devotees doing the chanting of the holy name daily, several hours of hearing Bhagavatam, several hours of devotees doing kirtan, taking turns. So I was really amazed because the Bhagavatam truth came to reality in her life. Because there is one verse which says in Bhagavatam, Nottama shloka vartanam jishatam tat katamritam syat sambramanta kalepi smaratam tat padam bhujam. This verse says, Nottama shloka vartanam, the Uttama shloka devotees, the devotees of the Lord, Supreme Lord, and they are never afraid even when the death comes very close. It says, Syat sambramanta kalepi. Why? Smaratam. They remember the lotus feet of Krishna. Tat padam bhujam. They clearly understand, I am different from the body, I am spirit soul, and going back to Godhead is my real destination. And what is this material body? It is made of flesh and bone and bile and mucus and stool and urine and sputum and all dirty, foul-smelling substances in which the soul is now trapped. It's a humiliation upon the soul. It's like a parrot put in a cage. How can you be jolly that you are in a body which is abominable? Imagine somebody gives you a accommodation, a room to stay. You go inside, it is full of garbage all around. It's an insult for you, isn't it? That's this body, material body. So one who is intelligent, spiritually wise, will understand that if there is no loss in leaving the material body and going to the next destination, and we can live in this material body and utilize it in Krishna's service, that's the way you can make the best out of bad bargain. Correct, no? Why we put tilak in this body? One time, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was in Sridham Mayapur. He was giving a Bhagavatam class. The Bhagavatam class, he said, what is this body? It's a stool body. And the stool body he told her a dozen times in the class. So one lady became very, terribly, unhappy. At the end of the class, she said, Maharaj, if you say stool body again and again, I am feeling irritated. If I look at my body and I think it is stool, it really pains me. Then Maharaj said, okay, don't feel pain. The best way you can utilize this body is you are putting tilak in the body, because the body is, on one hand it is called Vyadhi Mandiram. It's a temple of diseases, this body. At the same time, this body can be converted into a temple of the Lord also, because Lord is also staying next to the soul. He is also standing as super soul. So then Vaishnavas, they don't reject this body, rather they use this body in Krishna service. Correct, no? You can use your eyes to see Krishna, use your ears to hear about Krishna, use your mouth to speak about Krishna, chant the holy names, use your nose to smell the flower offered to Krishna. Use your mouth. In this way, you can use your legs to walk to temple, use your hands to cleanse the temple. In this way, you can utilize the body. The body can act as a springboard so that we can jump to the spiritual world using this body. So you don't have to reject the body. Use the body constructively in Krishna's service. That's what a devotee will do. Human life is for self-realization. Animal life is for self-gratification. So Vidura was a saintly personality, walking the path of dharma, always living in a renounced temperament and attached to Krishna in the heart. That is Vidura. And another person in the same verse we are hearing about is Dhritarashtra. The meaning of the word Rashtra means kingdom. Dhritarashtra means one who is attached to kingdom. The name itself suggests his nature, his qualities, his outlook to life. While Vidura is attached to Krishna's lotus feet, Dhritarashtra is attached to materialistic propensity, materialistic world, material kingdom, his material children, especially headed by Duryodhana. And he wants to hold on to the throne and doesn't want to leave it. Prabhupada writes in one of the places, there are many politicians, they will not leave the post until they are shot, he says one place. So, they want the prestige, fame, name, perks, and the privileges that come with the post. Namely, they may have a chartered plane, they may have a costly car, they may have a very big bungalow to live, they may get a hefty salary and, things like that. And they are finding it very difficult to give up that position and renounce that place. On the contrary, you will find devotees of Krishna like our Rup Sanatan Goswamis. They were actually working under Nawab Hussain Shah. At that, even today, you go to Ramkeli in Bengal, you will find 2 big palaces of Rup Sanatan. Even today, the remnants are still there. You will find those palaces. Each one had one palace. And at one time, they became so charmed by Lord Chaitanya that they decided to quit that post and become Goswamis and go to Vrindavan. At that time, Prabhupada says they had a boat full of gold coins, not currency notes, boatload of gold coins. If you get 1 palm full of gold coins, it's enough for your whole life. And they had boatload of gold coins. Tyaktva tornam ashesha mandalapati shrenim sada tuchchava bhotva ganesha kau karunaya kaupina kanthashrito gopi bhavara samrata bhilahari kallola magnau moho Pande rupa sanatanau raghuyugau Sri jiva gopalakau. So this verse says, Tyaktva Turnam Ashesha Mandalapati. Although they were very rich, they very easily gave up these things. See, when we can give up very easily, say, for example, I have put a band-aid. Bandage you call it? There's a band-aid, I think. Band-aid you call it. Next day morning, you want to remove the band-aid, along with the hair also comes. You see, the hair comes. It's very painful. But if you put some water, with water it comes out very smoothly. Similarly, if you experience Krishna juice, detachment comes very easy. When there is no Krishna juice, you tell somebody, give up this, give up that. Instead of giving up those things, they'll give you up and run away. Isn't it? That is why many times preachers are afraid to tell the truth. They are wondering, they say, shh, Prabhuji in the program, don't use the word Krishna. Prabhu, don't say Prabhupada. Don't say ISKCON. Don't say Bhagavad Gita. Then what I should say? They will not know who you are. Isn't it? Now, why are they afraid? In the program, don't say these things. Because they are afraid that people will leave and run away. Correct, no? Therefore, we should preach compassionately. At the same time, we should not compromise on speaking the truth. The truth should be spoken compassionately, it's agreed. But compassionately, what should be spoken? Truth. Not falsity, not illusion. We have to speak the truth. So, people like Dhritarashtra, who are attached to their comforts of the palace, it's a very shameful position here, he says. The reason is what? See, the Pandavas were his sworn enemies. He knew very well all the plots hatched by his son Duryodhana for feeding poison to Bhima, for putting them in Varanavat Lakshagraha and burn them alive, insulting their wife Draupadi, and then by a foul game of gambling match, sending them away to forest. And when they wanted to come back and resume the government, not giving the kingdom back to them, what to speak of that? Even 5 villages. All this was known to Dhritarashtra, but Dhritarashtra was passively envious. and Duryodhana was actively envious. Ultimately, both of them were envious. Whole world knew that. But now, his whole dynasty is finished. All 100 sons are dead and gone. And he is all alone now. Actually, if Pandava's side, if they were very angry with Kauravas, they would have finished Dhritarashtra also. Or at least they would have put him in jail. Instead of that, Pandavas headed by Yudhishthir, who was a Dharmaraj, he offered him such respect as if he was his own father. His father is Pandu, Pandu's elder brother is Dhritarashtra. So he gave him such dignity, such respect, such affection, kept him in the palace, gave him nice food to eat and personally cared for him. And Yudhishthir wanted to give him a feeling that although your 100 sons are destroyed, we are also like your sons, we will take care of you, don't worry. Be comfortable, be happy. He was very sensitive and caring. And this fellow, still the thought that I am the king was lingering in his mind. This is what is condemned here. Actually, he is no more the king. He is out of his post now. He is defeated. Yudhishthir is the king, but he is still thinking, I am still the king. And not only that, when one crosses 50 or 60, then one should go Panchasha Urdhvam, Vanam Brajet, it is said. After in Hindi we say Pachas, after Pachas comes Ikavan, Bhavan. No, one means one vas. Correct, no? And after one crosses 80, 80 comes Ikyasi, Bayasi, Sannyasi. The one becomes Sannyasi after that. So that is Vedic life, isn't it? But instead of taking Vanaprastha, Vanaprastha is what? Vanaprastha means Ugra Rata Shanti. Between the age of 25 to 50 or 25 to 60, the husband and wife, they board a Ratha, which means a chariot. And they are going out in the world, defeat this problem. They are working very hard. You have seen that? How many of you agree between 25 to 50, any parent will have a lot of challenges in their life? You all agree? Many of the married people know better than me. I can only speak sitting on Vyasasana, but they know it. Begetting children and raising them in Krishna consciousness, putting them in the school, taking some family members to doctor, and then tolerating all the challenges at home, relationships at home sometimes get strained because of people acting unreasonably. And in this way, little fights, sometimes bigger fights also sometimes. So in this way, one gradually comes to the stage of 50 or 55. By that time, the sons, daughters are grown up. And the family should hand over, the parents should hand over the responsibility to children. And then they should turn to God. So Shastra say 2 marriages. One marriage at 25, another marriage at 60. The 60th year marriage is called the Shashti Abda Purti. The 60 years are completed now. Why the second marriage is kept? First marriage is for taking responsibility. Second marriage is for giving up responsibility. So, one should give up material responsibilities to others, like Dhritarashtra should hand over the throne to Yudhishthir and tell him that, Yudhishthir, now you all run the show. Now I am going to forest with my wife. I'll meet the saintly persons and inquire from them about self-realization. I'll go back home, back to Godhead. In ISKCON, Prabhupada said, if you're crossing 50 or 60, live near the ISKCON temple. Go for the early morning program. Intensify your spiritual life. That's how you can purify the mind of material desires and fill your mind with spiritual desires. How do we do that? This is how we do it. Get up early in the morning, attend the whole morning program till Srimad Bhagavatam class and take prasad, and then the daytime take up some seva in some department and spend all day in the temple doing service. If you want to take a little rest, you can take. And then night again attend the arati. Sometimes in the day there are good classes, discussions, sadhus visit. So in this way, utilize your day well. And then night, if you go back to home, and next day you can come again. And Prabhupada said in Kali Yuga, this is Vanaprastha. You don't have to go to jungle. It's not possible also now. Our bodies are very frail and not very... in those days, people in old age, I used to always wonder how in old age they travel extensively so much, isn't it? And also live in the forest and all it is. One time, we went for a brahmachari shivir to one farm, I suggested brahmacharis, instead of sitting within a concrete home, let's go to the garden and let's have a program at night. So we put on the lights We sat in the garden, my Lord, so many kinds of 8.4 million species. There are insects, cockroaches kind of thing, this insect, that is all flying, mosquitoes biting. Devotee jumped up, within 10 minutes we had to get up and wind up and went into the room. So, then I was thinking, Pandavas, how did they live in the jungle? Think about it, even Sitaram, Lakshman. So now our bodies cannot take up even those small austerities. You can see that. Therefore, Prabhupada said, Vanaprastha means you don't have to go to jungle, just stay at home and go to temple and, So Dhritarashtra is an example of somebody who is very attached. So I can have connection of this, I can show something which will go easy, fast it can go. See, the illusion of material security. Dhritarashtra, despite losing everything, still clings to the hope of living comfortably. That's his nature. So Vidura is comparing him to household dog, you see, living off the scraps, devoid of dignity. See, one father-in-law told his daughter-in-law that, I want coffee, he said. So she became a little angry. She said, see, I have made Bournvita for everybody. My husband wants Bournvita. My son wants Horlicks. And you want coffee. Your wife wants tea. What is this? Everybody is asking different things. For 4 people, can I make 4 things? All of you drink one thing that will make my life easy. Like that she said. And the father-in-law became angry. He told his son, my son, you see how your wife is treating me. My daughter-in-law is not giving me respect. I am going to leave the home, he said. And the son didn't say anything. Son looked at his wife and kept quiet. And the father was wondering, now I have already told I am leaving home, but he is not defending me. Then what I should do? So he left the home. Then in the evening he came back again. So the daughter-in-law was asking, you said you are going to leave home? He said, I want to leave home, but what about my grandson? Who will take him for a walk? Therefore I have come home, he said. So in this way you will see, living off the scraps, devoid of dignity means sometimes people are not given dignity at home, but still one may live. Like there was one man in India, old man, he was 80 years old. Then he felt he has become bald now, so he wanted hair. So there are some doctors who apply some medicines and the hair comes out slowly and they have to pay a lot of money for that. So he tried that, but the problem is when he applied that medicine, it started burning severely and the head got bulged. And his son was in America. He called, better come back immediately. I am afraid I am getting some big disease. And the son had to fly from America to India. And son asked, what happened to you? And then the father said, because I am becoming baldy, that's why I tried this. He said, why are you trying to get your black hair back again? So in old age, keep quiet. Take the Japamala and do chanting. Instead of making your bald head, bring out hair. So in this way, you will see, in old age, many people are trying out different things. Like we go for Harinam Sankirtan in Pune, daily morning, 7 to 7:30 we go. So there is one Nana Nani Park, we go there also. Nana Nani Park is old people, sit in a park and then they are doing like this. Like this, all these exercises they are doing, because the body is not cooperating now. All are doing exercise. So we go there and do kirtan and we speak a few minutes. So one of the things we speak there, when we meet a group of people, we tell them, see, you can surely exercise your body and make it as functional as possible. But there will be a time when this body, no matter how much exercise you do, it will collapse. Idam shariram parinama peshalam patatyavashyam shatasan vijarjaram kim aushadim prechasi muda durmate niramayam krishna rasayanam piva. Like that, Kulashekara is telling. Idam shariram parinama peshalam. This body gradually transforms from childhood to boyhood to youth to old age. And you cannot stop that transformation. Patati avashyam, it's certainly going to fall to the ground one day. Before that, you chant Hare Krishna, wake up. Some of them understand. They come and join our kirtan, clap hands and also take a japamala. So we tell them, still it is not late. You are a human being, you are 80 now. Now also it's not too late. Because life is a preparation, death is a examination. So in this way, some people think that somehow or other drag on. That's what he is calling it as a jivitasha. See here? It's survival instinct. Their purpose is lost, dignity is lost. Here is a very solid question. Are we living meaningfully or we are merely surviving like a vegetable? What is the difference between these two? You can read one verse, I'll give it as a homework. Chiranikim patina santi dishanti viksham naivangripa parabritas saratopashusham ruddhabuhaki majito vatino pasannam kasmad bhajanti kavayo dhanadhurmadhandan. This begins with Chirani. Chiranikim patina santi. You can read the purport, is very powerful. Prabhupada says there that even a sadhu, like I am a monk should never become a parasite on society, Prabhupada says. A monk should give some contribution. And what is a monk's contribution? You should study the Shastra and teach Shastra. You should chant the holy name and go out and do Harinam Sankirtan. You should not accept salary, but you should live only on charity. And you should not be only collecting money without doing some welfare for the world. Because in this world, all God's creation is selflessly serving. Look at the sun giving sunlight and you are drawing from the sunlight with your solar panel, but you don't pay anything to the sun, isn't it? You can see that sun is giving selflessly, clouds are showering rain selflessly, river is giving you water selflessly, cow is giving you milk selflessly, mango trees are giving you mango selflessly. If everybody is doing freely all this, we call it as, Paropakaraya vahanti nadya, paropakaraya duhanti gavva, paropakaraya phalanti vriksha, paropakaraya idam shariram. Like that, there is a verse. This body is for paropakar. Janma sarthaka kori kara paropakar. So therefore, as human beings, we should think, am I existing like a vegetable in this world, or am I doing some supreme welfare activity of spreading Krishna consciousness by distributing books, by starting preaching programs, by doing Harinam Sankirtan and telling people about Krishna. Like little Saraswati girl used to catch the people passing by. She used to ask me, do you know who Krishna is? And they would say, I don't know. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she would say. And Prabhupada laughed and said, see, even a little child is preaching Krishna consciousness. And she is making devotees from the common people. So in this way, we should not merely survive dragging our body, but we should live meaningfully by preaching, practicing and preaching. What is the role of a sadhu? Vidura doesn't sugarcoat the truth. A true spiritual guide speaks boldly to awaken the soul. So, that's the meaning of a spiritual guide or a mentor or a Vidura like Vidura. It's a devotee of God. A devotee of God is very concerned about seeing that the soul is saved. So, in the name of being kind and sensitive, you cannot just give the painkiller to people and not give the medicine. You see, one fellow got cancer and one cancer tablet was 1,000 rupees. And doctor said, at least you have to take it for 3 years and you will be completely cured, he said. So how much it will be? 365,000 means how much it is? 3,65,000. So 3 years if he takes, it will be 10 lakh. But he can live for another 40-50 years, he said. On the other hand, doctor said, if you don't want to eat that medicine, painkiller is also available. It's only 1 rupee painkiller per day. So the fellow calculated, for 3 years, it is just 1,000 rupees. Instead of spending 10 lakh, I can spend 1,000. I'll take painkiller. So as he kept on eating painkiller, what happened? He could not perceive the pain of cancer. So he was internally getting eaten up like termites eat the beam. And suddenly, after a couple of years, he died because he never took the medicine. If he took the cancer medicine by paying the price, he would have lived for 40-50 years. Correct, no? So, what is painkiller? Sense gratification is painkiller in this world. Pampering people with social media, pampering people with smartphone, pampering people with video games, with crossword puzzles, pampering people with junk foods, pampering people with low class appeal of sex life. With all these things, the world is cheating us. So if we become cheated by those kind of allurements in this world, we are considered as fool number one. So any intelligent soul should wake up to the fact that the body is a dying phenomenon. I cannot live in this body forever. If somebody tells me that I can make the body wonderful, I am getting white hair, I can have the, what do you call that? What's that? Hair dye. Hair dye. Somebody has all the teeth gone and he has put a teeth set. Looks very beautiful teeth. But actually he has no teeth. Somebody's ears are not hearing, they put a hearing device. So don't think we can make some little adjustment and go on and on like that. One day the body will collapse. That's what the sadhu should speak the truth. And don't settle for spiritual scrap. This is another deep point here. Are we living off the leftovers of other spiritual lives or cultivating our own? What is the meaning of this? I'll tell you. There was one senior devotee who was almost like 20 years in ISKCON. So somebody asked, Prabhu, what are you doing these days? He said, my, people whom I brought to Krishna consciousness 20 years ago, they are preaching on my behalf. And these guys are distributing books. They said, Prabhu, that is all right, but what are you doing? He said, I blessed them already and they are all doing. Then this devotee showed to that devotee, Prabhu, in Nectar of Devotion it is said that if people whom you brought many years ago, if they are doing Krishna consciousness, that will go to their account, it won't come to your account. Now, whatever you do, for example, a donor gives some money and then the temple is built and many people are coming to temple and practicing devotion service. For giving the donation, he will get the credit. But after the temple is built, so many activities are going on and the Sukriti will go to different people who process the activities in the temple and bring more and more people and correct. No, they get the credit. So we should not be under the illusion that, I brought this fellow 30 years ago, I brought him 20 years ago and they are doing. So therefore whatever he is doing, he is doing on behalf of my behalf only. No. That is the meaning of, living off the leftovers of other spiritual life. For example, sometimes a devotee is coming for a meeting for last 20 years. They bring lot of emotional problems. They bring lot of quarrels and other things to the seniors to solve. And the seniors are spending a lot of time with them. So these are like disturbed children. I don't say we shouldn't spend time. We should help them surely. But we also have to educate them that you have to grow. One brahmachari told my spiritual master, Maharaj, we are all like your children. Maharaj said, okay, be like children, but you have to grow also. He said, and take some responsibility. Similarly, Prabhupada also said, some devotees, Prabhupada, when he said, it's getting late, I think now. I'll finish in 5 minutes, all right? Prabhupada said, we should do this, we should do the Prabhupada. They said, Haribol, Haribol. They said, Prabhupada said, how many Haribols? Haribol is not enough, you have to do something also. Like that he said. So, another point is mentioned here. So, in the spiritual life, we should not just hang around, but do something for the pleasure of Prabhupada. So, material comfort can be a trap, he says, if it blinds us of a real purpose. So, Dhritarashtra got trapped in this cozy house. There is a verse also, Bhagavatam says that, Tavat kara griham griham. People with big houses, they have big doors also. They put a board also, beware of dogs and everything. And for them, the home only is jail, it says. Because no sadhu can put his foot in the house. Nobody can, teach transcendental knowledge to them. They get trapped. Like that, home itself can be a trap. So, therefore, be like Vidura, speak the truth with compassion, but help others awaken. So, here there is one express summary was given. I'll just give you, where is that? This one. Face reality, that life is temporary, don't cling to scraps of comfort. Use old age wisely. It is meant for detachment, not dependence. You see, one last point I'll make and conclude. His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, somebody asked him, Maharaj, you are living in a home with wife and children and everything. Suddenly, after meeting Prabhupada, why did you take sannyas? They asked. So Maharaj always is very humorous in his speech. So he said, you see, when I left the home at the age of 60, my wife and children, they all asked, why are you leaving us? Why are you leaving us and going away? Jai Shri Sri Radhendra Madhav ki. So Mahavishnu Maharaj was telling, when I was leaving at 60 to take Vanaprastha and sannyas, my family members are asking me, oh, why are you leaving? They asked me. And if I stayed for 10 more years, they will ask me, when are you going to leave? So which question is better? Why are you leaving is better, or when are you leaving is better? Yes. So, in Pune we have started Bhakti Vedanta Vanaprastha Sangha, BVS we call it. So we have two groups. One is 60 to 80, it's called Advaita Acharya Sangha. And 45 to 60 is Srivas Thakur Sangha. Similarly for Matajis, 45 to 60 we call it as Malini. Malini is whose wife? Srivas Thakur's wife. And Matajis who are 60 to 80, that we call as Sita Thakurani Sabha for them. So we have separate ladies training, men's training, we have like that. So in the senior group, 60 to 80, we have 90 Vanaprasthas we have. And between 45 to 60, we have 60 Vanaprasthas we have. So we have separate training going on. What do we do? Very simple. We have given them 3 goals we have given them. First goal is, wherever you are in Pune city, leave your home to rent and come and stay right next to temple. The temple is an extension of Goloka. If you stay around the temple, you are actually, it's like staying next to airport. You are going to take off back home, back to garden. Just stay next to temple. That's the first goal is, wherever you are. One old man told me, Swamiji, you are telling me to leave and come here, but that's my own house, he said. I said, your own house is temple. Initially make your home into temple, later on make temple your home. When you are new in Krishna consciousness, you should make your home into temple. But when you become a very serious devotee, make temple your home. I said, stay next temple. In this world, you are not going to stay forever. Come and stay next to temple. That's the first goal. Second goal, after you come next to temple, there are many devotees who took houses next to temple, but they don't come for Mangalarti. What's the use? Houses come near, but they are not coming. So the second goal is, come for morning program, 4:30 to 9:30 as much. Because you are a retired person, you can spend time. That's the second goal. Third goal is, after you are attending the whole morning program, Janma Sarthaka Kori happens. So what is the third one? Karo? Then you render seva. Do indoor services or outdoor services. After that camp, these Vanaprastha fellows became so inspired. 3 of them went with bus party. Although they were 65, 70, they went on bus party. One of them is driving the bus, can you imagine? Even though he's 65. He has been a driver, so he's driving. So, in this way, we can see that these 3 goals, wherever you are, come close to temple. After coming close to temple, attend the morning program. After attending morning program, render some seva. That's all. If you do it, you are a perfect Vanaprastha. Then I said, I can show you quotes from Prabhupada. This is what Prabhupada says about Vanaprastha. We don't have to do anything more than this. Prabhupada says, 20 years if a Grihastha spends like this, giving wholehearted attention to Krishna consciousness, they will go back to Godhead. Prabhupada says in one purport like this. So in this way, we have to use our old age wisely. It's meant for detachment, not for dependence. And then seek sadhu guidance. What is it? Accept truth even if bitter. It's meant to awaken us. And prepare early. Don't wait for old age. Begin detachment right from now. Live in a renounced temperament. And then live with dignity. Better to depend on Krishna than live humiliatingly on others' mercy. As Prabhupada says, don't become a parasite. Even as sadhus, I tell all brahmacharis also in Pune, so many grihasthas are giving donation. You can't be sitting in the temple and eating. You have to go out and distribute books, go up for Harinam, do preaching. Vanaprastha is in, brahmachari is out. That's Pune formula. Brahmachari should be out traveling to different places preaching, and Vanaprasthas will manage the temple because they are little elderly and they are also experienced in the world. Prabhuji's Matajis, they run the whole temple. In Pune, we have 450 Matajis who do garland making, cooking for the deities, making dress for the deities, making ornaments for the deities. So these ladies, we have a Prem Milan yearly once, all Matajis coming together, and we thank them and give them gifts and everything. So because of these ladies, the whole wonderful deity department is taken care, and also the men are, there are many Matajis who are book distributors also. They are preachers also. They are preaching to girls and children. Similarly, like Prabhujis, they distribute books. They help with accounts. They help with many things like that. So, Grihasthas can run the temple very powerfully and make the temple a vibrant place for the thousands of people who come to benefit. And brahmacharis are young and they have no family encumbrances. They can travel freely anywhere and go for preaching. Like in Hyderabad, we have 33 districts. So we want to send 2 devotees to every district. Each district we are going to start preaching centers like that. In Hyderabad alone, we have 1 crore population. So we are going to start 80 centers in Hyderabad. Already 80 places are located. Congregation is announced and many congregation has raised the hand, I am living in this area, I will develop a center there. So 80 centers will come. And those who are far away from the temple don't want to come near temple, they can go to those centers. They are called Bhakti Kutirs, we are calling. 12 Kutirs have come now, Bhakti Kutirs. And many will come eventually. So in this way, I am not just telling about how Vidura is condemning Dhritarashtra. Vidura is not just a, Vairagi, he is teaching him detachment. He actually taught him devotional service. The goal of detachment is to engage everything in Krishna service and become a pure devotee. So he took Dhritarashtra to forest and Gandhari followed him. And in this way, he is the ideal brother who paved way for his brother to be liberated. Srila Prabhupada ki. Prabhupada himself is example, correct, no? See, Prabhupada, he took Vanaprasth and then he took sannyas. So Prabhupada is role model for everybody, for Grihasthas and sannyasis, brahmacharis, everybody. Can I take 5 minutes questions, sir? Okay? As for you want the mic, you want? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Jayadvaita Maharaj's next book, it's called the Vanaprastha Adventure.
Okay.
He has gone online, he has already released 25 chapters.
Okay.
It is available free right now, it is a work in progress. So we list all the, like you discussed about Vanaprastha, how it needs to be cultivated within ISKCON. So I just thought people should...
I actually play his lecture which he gave in Chowpatty. I play for all the Vanaprastha. I didn't know that book is coming out. It's a great news it is.
Yes, it is available at his website, jswami.info.
Okay.
All the chapters.
Thank you. Our Vanaprastha will be dancing if they see that. They'll be ecstatic, something valuable. Thank you for the valuable information. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Radheshyam Maharaj, you would like to say something? And where is Saranga Thakur Prabhu? You would like to say something? Okay. Anybody else would want to... any reflection or takeaway or question? Any of the 3 you can do. Any of you? Because only if you speak, I will be confident that you are not shocked. Otherwise, you have fainted unconscious hearing Vidura's strong preaching to Dhritarashtra, isn't it? Yeah.
You were discussing about preaching the truth compassionately.
Correct. Yeah.
I was reflecting some cases where preachers may not want to present directly Krishna consciousness. Maybe I'm incorrect, but it seems as though it may be better just to do kirtan back if one's not willing to simply present the philosophy rather than misleading, just give them kirtan and prasadam.
First give prasadam, then do kirtan, and then if they are still sitting and hanging around, then give philosophy. The most attractive thing is prasad. Some boys don't come for kirtan also, they come only for prasad. Okay, take prasad and go. Because prasadam also purifies. But after getting little more purified, they will sit for kirtan. And after they come for kirtan, they make friends with the devotees. Then they are willing to listen. Then they can hear a short class, 10 minutes class, 15-20 minutes class. Then if they are coming for that, then we have another program outside the college. Next to the college, we have center. If they are taking the trouble to come there, they can hear 1 hour class also. That's what we are doing in Austin. In Austin, we have a club in the college where, people come. There is one, Turtle Lake, There's a famous lake because the Turtle Lake's banks only is only Vishnu Swami Maharaj and is only Stamakrisha Maharaj. They used to do program there. So hundreds of students used to come in those days. Many became devotees also, I heard, in Texas. So in the same place we are doing program now. I did this time when I went Thursday. So there were like almost 40-50 students were there. So, and those students, if they become inspired by that program on Thursday, then they will come to the Bhakti house where about 18 students can stay there as for like full time. They're students, but there's a facility for 18 boys and there is one more building available for 6 girls. For the end of the same lane, they have one more. So, that facility is especially created for Western devotees, for making American devotees. So, when I give the program here, 40 came, and there also another 35 came in that program also. And that is a more serious program. There I did a topic called the Gita in 4 sutras. This body is not all in all, soul exists. This one life is not all in all, many more lifetimes exist. This material world is not all in all, spiritual world exists. We are not all in all, God exists. God is in control. Like that, this 4 all in all formula, we did that, which means it's a direct truth. We presented that, and many students appreciate that. What you said is true. When in the college, we give a light dose, because a newborn child needs breast milk. You can't stuff a bread into the mouth of a newborn baby. You can give them some little light dose. And then once they are ready to come to the center, you can give more serious. At the same time, in the college program also, some truth has to be spoken. We say mind management. How do you manage? Chant Hare Krishna. Japa Krishna. I say ABC. A means weekly once come for the program association. And daily 1 page a day of Bhagavad Gita. B. And daily 1 round of chanting C. ABC. Now somebody said, Toji, D you forgot. Very important. What is D? D is devotional diet. I said, that you don't have to tell people. They will anyway come. Without calling also, news gets around. People come. So I always say ABC. Association, Bhagavad Gita, all are one only. Association once a week. Bhagavad Gita 1 page a day. Chanting 1 round a day. So many newcomers say, oh, this is, wow, it's very easy. They're ready to do. But if they start with this, eventually they'll come to 16 rounds. So in this way, newcomers also, you don't leave them without the medicine. These 3 are medicines. Correct, no? We can tell the truth. We shouldn't fear to speak the truth. Shri Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much.